I've just taken a run through of the numbers here, and clearly better than expected, but I'm sure for you too, what you want to hear is what do they think about Sprint and how this is going to progress?
Yes, thank you for having me. Earnings is somewhat anticlimactic here because it is 100% around Sprint right now.
And what are you expecting them to say, Jennifer, on the call today? I mean, the share price reaction that we saw when the deal was announced and prospected yesterday was pretty muted to negative.
Yes, I think the biggest question is the regulatory hurdle. The companies seem a lot more confident than what we're hearing from D.C. We've talked about 10 contacts in D.C., former FTC staffers, et cetera, who think this is going to be very much an uphill battle. So I think we're just going to be somewhat range-bound in a holding pattern with these stocks until we get more tangible signs from how Washington thinks of this deal.
Jennifer, I have to say, I'm still not totally satisfied with understanding the market's reaction to the deal news on Monday morning, because going into last week, it seemed like we knew there was a decent chance that a deal would be announced over the weekend or something like that. Was there something specific in the announcement when it comes to the regulatory side that was disappointing? Was there language? Was there a strategic argument? Was there something that wasn't there that would explain why once we got the news, we saw such a swift reaction?
You know, that's a good question. I think, so much of this is art, not science. And as we heard on the call, it seemed like they gave the FCC the heads up right before the call on Sunday. So I think there's open questions if they really, worked the channel in D.C., plus the uncertainty around AT&T and Time Warner. Well, it's somewhat apples to oranges, very different deal. But if a vertical merger like AT&T's involved in is getting a hard look, what does that mean for a purely horizontal merger that this one will be?